Hello.
Hello. How's everybody doing? Steven, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Double dosing on drugs and drinking expired Bang, but
All right.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Just another day.
A little homemade speedball. That's good. To our visual viewers, you can see we've got a guest tonight.
Hi.
And that is my partner, Frankie.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
How are you doing?
I'm here.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Are we?
Frankie's a little introverted, but I asked them to come on the show. And this was born from part of last week's episode when Steven and I were, just riffing on things about vaginas and processes about vaginas, and we're just butchering it.
It was painful.
Just getting it real bad and real wrong. And so Frankie was just, reading me the riot act. So, you know what? We absolutely need a vagina owner's input on the show. And you happen to own a vagina. Proud owner.
It's a thing.
So
what were some of the things that we said that were either inaccurate or bothersome?
Oh my god. The entire spiel about the pap smear was awful.
Oh no. Okay.
So, a pap smear is you take this little metal guy and you shove it into a vagina and it opens up in there. And then you take this little scrapey guy and you scrape your cervix, not vagina walls. So it's pretty awful.
I said uterus, I think. I don't know.
No.
I was just making shit up.
So a metal, like a claw.
No, it looks like a metal dildo, and then you put it in, and then it's got like this little handle, and you squeeze that, and it opens up.
Like those little dinosaur things that you get at Toys R Us?
Essentially, yes.
Huh.
So then they take their little scrapey guy and stick it in you and scrape it out.
And what are they testing for? What are they collecting that information for?
Mostly cervical cancer.
Okay.
So
just the one thing. Just cervical
I'm
cancer.
sure there's other things, but that's usually what doctors bring up to me.
All right.
So
cool.
Doing good so far.
That sounds awful.
It is. It is.
There's no better way to test for any of that?
I'm sure there is, but here we are.
Well, I'm sure it was invented by a man. I wonder what
a better way.
There has to be. Like we can see inside of people with like waves. Like why do we need a claw to scrape things and pull them out of?
Dogs can smell cancer. Why don't we just have a dog sniff you up there?
Yes.
You would rather have the bionic dildo claw scrapey arm than a dog sniff your vagina?
Yeah, probably. With as far as it needs to go, yes, 100%.
We're not talking like dogs snout in. There's no penetration happening.
It's not like muzzle.
No, I don't think I would enjoy that.
Okay, all right.
But that's just me.
There was one time I was dared to smell someone's vagina, because they were. I was playing Truth or Dare with my boyfriend at the time, his cousin, and his cousin's girlfriend, and he was like, "Oh, her vagina smells really nice. You should try it." And I was like, "I'll pass." And then it got around to my turn, and of course I said dare, and he's like, "I dare you to smell my girlfriend's vagina," and I was like, "Whatever." And so she was like sitting on the chair with her legs out, and I just like, okay.
Did you like walk it?
Yeah, I did the whole like.
It was
the walking.
Right? There were pants involved as a.
There were pants. Yeah, I was like,
you're safe.
It was fine, I guess.
Yeah.
I looked over at him though for approval, I guess, and he had like this big shit-eating grin,
Sure.
or I guess vagina-eating grin, and he was just like, "Isn't it great? It's like nice, isn't it?" And I was like, "It's fine."
I mean, you're like, if you were to ask me about wine, I'd be like, sure, it tastes great. I have no idea. I'm not a wine drinker. I don't know. You know, that could be the worst and or best smelling vagina ever, and you'd have no clue.
Exactly.
I mean, you'd know if it smelled bad, I suppose, but how bad?
Yeah. And I don't know if it's like a good bad. Like I don't know what any of
Yeah,
that means.
yeah, right.
I don't even know. I'm not a dog or a bionic claw thing. So
I'm not a dog. I don't know if this vagina has cancer. I don't know.
Just don't know.
Aren't you so glad you're here?
I regret everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Every life choice up to this point.
Good. I'm not a dog. I don't know.
If I were a dog, though, I would hope that I would be the vaginal cancer smelling dog.
Mm.
I don't know if it's a certain breed.
I think it's just they train them. I don't know.
Same as a drug sniffing dog, I guess. Like you have to train him.
Mm-hmm.
How do you train it?
I don't
Can
fucking
you imagine the training process?
know.
It's like, all right, smell the pussy, get a treat. It's
Well, it's not just. It's all cancer. Like it's not just cervical.
Oh, it's not
vagina
okay.
cancer.
Okay, I misunderstood. I thought there was like different brands.
Odd, like that's odd. That's highly special. You know, like overly specialized.
This is a colon cancer dog. This is a vagina cancer dog.
Right.
Like,
Right. You're just surrounded by puppies.
oh no.
Yeah.
So, speaking of smelling vaginas and puppies,
Wait, what? No, no segue. No segue.
no, this is a segue.
No.
So you know how like there's like the new puppy smell,
Mhm.
Sure.
and it's like a nice smell.
Uh-huh.
Is that dog vagina smell? Is that what that is?
No.
No.
Just like, okay, do you think that human babies, do you think that's vagina smell?
It could be. I don't know.
No, it's not, no.
I've smelled one vagina in my life.
Did it smell like babies?
I don't think it did.
Damn it, Steve.
So then, what's the new puppy smell?
A new puppy. That's just what little babies smell like.
Yeah, right. I mean, all babies have a new baby smell. New cars have a new car smell. And new dogs have a new dog smell.
Smells.
Yeah, but eventually the world just breaks you, and then you don't smell like that anymore.
Huh.
Happens very quickly.
Yeah. Do vaginas smell like that? Fuck you.
I'm sorry. Imagine McNamee is asking if I've smelt a baby. I mean, yeah, like not like deliberately. I don't like take a baby and just inhale baby.
Oh, I do.
Oh, I do.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
100%.
Inhale baby.
Fuck yeah.
That's the best smell in the entire world.
New baby.
Friends had a baby, and I text them, "When can I come smell your baby?"
Yeah, dude. Because you can't get that smell anywhere else. Just like the air at Disney World, like it's they pump it into the air.
Now you're talking my language. There
Yeah,
we go.
but you covet that smell. You know, you
Yeah.
covet that trip because it's a whole experience. And new baby smell, it's finite. It goes away because eventually the world fucking just crushes them. You know, and so you gotta get that smelling while you can.
Huh.
Yeah.
I feel like all of the babies I've smelled, it's just like like shit and vomit.
Well,
It's just, like,
It's later.
that's that. Like, yeah.
but I've never smelled a baby like immediately after it's
Fresh
It's
emerging.
not immediate. It's not like, you know, I'm not like outside the hospital like, oh man, come on, buddy. Hey man, you guys smell that baby? No, it's you have a couple of weeks. You know, you got maybe even a month. I don't really know. I never really timed it. But you still got a while. Like you smell it in the hair. It's just Anyway.
Yeah.
Anywho's, that's strange.
All about that baby smell.
I wasn't aware that I was missing out on
Oh, yeah.
world's greatest
Oh, yeah.
smells.
Find a baby to smell.
Damn.
Preferably,
Well, all
baby,
right.
Yeah, please smell strange babies.
Strange babies.
Yeah.
Hold on. I want to try a thing. Let me know if this is shitty. Okay. I'm gonna. Is that okay?
No.
I think it's okay. It's a little off now. Things are really kind of off center. We weren't prepared for that.
Okay.
Um,
I can put it back. I'll put it back.
all right.
Thank you.
Well, now we're on the other side of the screen.
Does it matter? Is it?
Yes.
Everything, everything's wrong, and I'm done.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, it's like if Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon switch spots, they'd just be weird. Nobody knows who that is. It's fine.
Oh,
Move on.
You're an old man.
Yeah, I am.
You've lost your baby smell.
Yeah, a long time ago, son. Oh, so long ago. Yeah. So, is there anything you'd like to discuss or bring up or talk about? This is kind of, I mean, we discussed obviously how fucking stupid we are. Check.
That's all I was here for. So
Got done. Knock that off the to-do list. We're dumb. So what else you got?
I'm just here.
All right.
Here,
Well then,
here.
that leaves us with last week's bring up of nugget porn.
Da, 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 da.
He's got it.
I had the banner ready.
Ready, locked and loaded. Bang, bang. So you've been wanting to talk to me about this for a while, for weeks, maybe even a month. And I was like, no, I don't want to hear about it. Don't tell me about it. I want to have a fresh idea. And then coincidentally, just within the last week, I was perusing through Reddit, and I came across what I think it was called nugget porn. It was just a photo. I didn't get to see it. There might have been a video involved, but I didn't click on it.
So can you describe this photo for us?
It was basically a human fleshlight. It was a lady who is an amputee. No arms, no legs.
Okay.
Just a head, torso, and a vagina.
Okay.
And a dude was propping her up.
Mm-hmm.
And they were clearly about to fuck.
Okay.
And it was just called nugget porn.
I don't understand why, but okay.
I get it. It's fucked up. I don't, but that's what I saw. Is that what nugget porn is?
Yes. So that is nugget porn.
Okay.
I'm assuming that nugget is referring to the general shape of a human with no arms or legs.
Correct. Right. That was my leap.
I wonder though, similar to one of our previous conversations, I wonder, is this like an offensive term?
Right.
Or is this something that they are okay with?
Did she, when she was agreeing to do, I mean, obviously she consented to do, well, hopefully she consented to do the pornography. She was smiling while being held by this gentleman. But was she made aware of the fact that it would be called nugget porn?
Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, she was attractive. It's not like she was I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers.
I've never heard that phrase before.
No, that's the thing. It's the thing.
God. Well, yeah. So that's nugget porn. I feel like it's interesting because I'm not particularly interested in nugget porn myself, but I'm always interested in sexually, I should say. Intellectually, I am fascinated.
Yeah. Well, what if it was a man?
I'd still no. I don't think so. Just because. Okay, so symbolically, I feel like nugget porn, the nugget being the subject.
Maybe we'll call it, just for the sake of possibly being offensive, we'll call it maybe amputee porn.
Just for what? I'm sorry.
Most likely, I'm pretty sure that somebody who's an amputee would not want to be called a nugget. So let's say amputee porn.
I mean, that's fair, but there's specifically with all of the...
It is a genre. I just saw one photo, so I thought it might just be like goatsy. Like, it's just a thing. or like Two Girls, One Cup. That's not a whole genre of porn. That is just one artistic endeavor, if you will.
Yeah.
So is nugget porn a whole subcategory? Like, are there multiple amputees out there just getting railed?
I think so. But like with nugget porn specifically, it's like they have to have no limbs
Right.
at all.
So okay, a quadra amputee, like I don't know the correct full hyphenated thing for it, but a full amputee, no arms and legs. I'm like just erring on the side of politeness. I feel like nuggets
That's
probably.
Fair. That's fair. That's
You
fair.
okay?
Yeah.
All right. This isn't you. You have like you didn't sign off on this part.
No, I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I feel like with the quadra amputee being the subject, I feel like due to the nature of this, they would take on more of a submissive role. And for me, I prefer the subject of porn to be more dominant.
Okay.
And I've never seen I've never seen that kind of porn with them being dominant. Usually, like you described, they're kind of like human fleshlight kind of roles.
I have two branching questions here. We'll go with all right. So first off, I mean, just like jack off instructions, like the person who's just kind of there can still be dominant. Dominant is just a personality, that like you don't have to be physically domineering to be domineering, in my opinion, in my experience. So as long as this amputee, asserted themselves, I think it could be done. There's that. And I mean, would you agree? Like, I mean, it's quadruple amputee. Thank you, Moore's hands. Quadruple amputee would be the words I'm looking for. Appreciate the grammar, alley-oop. Thank you. Assist. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like the quadruple amputee could just be like, no, I'm in charge here. Fuck you. And then
that's fair.
Okay.
I'm updating the banner real quick.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
There we go.
There it is. Boom.
There it is. I hope I spelled that correctly, but
quadruple. Yeah, sure. So now here's a question. I know you're not super into penetrative sex. That's not your your desired top creme de la creme. I guess for me, like I'm always trying to think of new exciting ways to get at the hole with which I'm trying to fuck.
I'd love to see a compilation.
Change up the show just because you're present. Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna. I'm me.
I'm very well aware.
All right. Like, the only limitations are my own body, and I guess the body of my willing partner. So, like, bending, stretching, different positions. It's all exciting, and I want to try it all. Right? To me, not saying anything about you. This is just me. Okay. So, okay. Like, if there was a scenario with which I could safely remove and then later reattach your limbs, I absolutely would do that.
Oh my God.
That doesn't surprise me. So.
Because it's just like it's a new way, right? Yeah, you're right. Because it would be a new, an exciting, different way to get at the thing I'm trying to get at.
So you are the bionic metal arm dildo.
I don't know.
Apparently.
Finding any which way to get inside and do some scrapey.
Oh no! No scrapey.
Nobody likes that. Nobody wants that at all.
Like
I'm sure somebody.
Rubby, and caressy, but not scrapey.
No scrapey.
No scrapey.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yes and no from me, dog.
So, I happen to have a model for anyone who's interested. I will censor it with my finger because we're on Twitch and we're live. But for anybody interested in specifically what we're referring to when we say quadruple amputee porn, it's essentially this. But with a head. So imagine this with a head.
Unless
Where did
Shibari.
you get that? You just pulled that out of nowhere.
So you are a vagina owner. I am an owner of whatever this is.
Are the boobies squishy?
No. So I wish I could show you. Actually, the artistry is.
It
phenomenal.
looks. I mean, like the tone,
So
like the shadow.
This is actually this is a flower vase, 3D printed, that we got from Leaf and Limb. A friend of mine, Olivia, works there, and so she gave me this, and my friend Emily, who is a friend of the show, she saw it in my car, and she was like, "This is amazing. I want to paint this and give it back to you."
Holy
so
shit! Emily painted that?
Yes, she painted this with all the shading and the detail, and
Yeah,
I wish I could show you the nipples, and there's some pubic hair. She went all out with this.
Yeah, that's really good work.
So I wanted to give that a shout out, and there was no other, applicable time for me to whip this out other than now. So
put it down now. I feel like you're like on the cusp of slipping. You're just one finger away from getting us banned from Twitch forever. So,
but maybe in the future though, if we have like a Patreon or an OnlyFans, we can reveal the entire thing.
Yeah, the craft work on that is fucking really, but yeah, both the printing and the painting. So, well done. Kudos.
Good job.
Yeah.
But that's essentially the quadruple amputee. So imagine that with a head.
I mean, that even had a bit more limb than what I saw.
Really?
Yep.
So right at the
base, like.
Dang.
Yeah.
What was that show? It was the cartoon with like the like nuclear, the oblongs, I think was the name of it.
Yeah.
The dad.
Yeah.
The dad was also
a quadruple amputee. Yep. Man, glad we got that out. That was a long time coming for that nugget porn business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you just happened to stumble upon it.
It's strange. It's strange.
Oh,
I think maybe my phone.
I put the wrong banner. There we go. Jesus Christ. What have I done?
Jeez.
What have I done?
It's ruined.
A bunch of amateurs.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to just delete it. All of it.
Shut it down.
If I were an amputee, would you still love me?
Yes.
Would you still make love to me?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Now, if you had the option to keep his limb, like in a jar, a very like, I guess it would be like a vase. You wouldn't keep the limb?
No, I'm good. I don't need that in my life.
I would keep all of my limbs. If I get something cut off, I want to keep it. I want to put it on a shelf.
I don't want to keep the bones, not. I don't want to keep a tube or a tank or a jar of rotting fetid flesh. Muscle.
Maybe if it's just
doesn't have to be
bones.
rotting.
Bones, I'm keeping.
The bones would be cool, like as long as they're properly cleaned and everything. I kept my hardware from my leg break, so I'm gonna make a trophy out of it.
That's
Just
kind of
because. It's pretty gross.
Okay, quick question.
Uh-huh.
If I got my hand cut off and we got to keep the bones, how would we pose my hand?
Most likely middle finger.
See, that's the everyone thinks quick middle finger. Wrong. Shocker. You got to give him the shocker.
Yeah, that's true.
Or like this, like the anyway.
Thumbs up.
Hey, bud. Yeah, absolutely. That's how actually. I want to get cremated, but if for some reason I get to be on display,
God,
I want you to be giving a thumbs up like this.
You got it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
All right. It's
on
record there. It's all out there for everybody.
I'll add it to the list.
Yep.
So I can't remember if this was last episode or 2 episodes ago, but we actually had a question that we never did discuss fully, and so I'm gonna just throw it up there.
Sure.
This was from Minaxra.
Mm-hmm.
They asked, "How soon is too soon for the tossing the salad conversation?" And then they said grooming, etc. I spelled that very wrong.
Grooming etiquette.
Etiquette. Yeah, thank you, Jesus.
At first I thought there was etc. with a lot of extra letters.
That's what I thought too.
That is a butchering of etiquette. Yeah. Okay.
I'm glad at least one of us has half of a brain cell.
I can't spell, but I think that's wrong.
Absolutely it's wrong. So, Francis?
I don't know. Grooming wise, it should definitely be post shower.
Yeah, so grooming is not even a conversation. It's just you should have a shorn. But unless you're into hairy people, which is fine. Oh my God! Imagine me. Okay, for those who are uninitiated, tossing one's salad is rimming. Is butthole licking. A rim job. If you haven't had it done to you, get it done immediately because it's great.
It's got its moments.
It's wonderful.
See, here's my problem with it though. It feels fine. It's like a massage. Massages are nice, but no pun intended. The second somebody starts eating my ass, and then they emerge, all I can think about when I kiss them is my ass, and I don't want to think about my ass.
Well, it's kind of like a finishing move. It's not like a. It depends on your partner, it depends on your hygiene, and how recently you've showered and or cleaned your own butthole. But really, that's kind of a finisher. You can go on with the rest of the night, but yeah, you should probably avoid kissing.
Maybe go brush your teeth a little.
Maybe have a little TV timeout, have a little pause,
a little mouthwash. Some
oral hygiene, and then go back to it. I've had some sessions that you go get a snack, go get some water. It's not go pee. Yeah, fuck yeah, I get a snack. I need more protein. Fuck.
Intermission.
I'm fat. Okay, that's what it comes down to. I want a snack. So yeah, you just need a break because you can't be fucking just constantly. You want to be fucking constantly, but. I thought it had to do with ball play. Good to know. Salad emoji.
I'm glad that we could clear that up.
Today you learned.
Yeah. Callie writes in. I feel like that's why you do an enema beforehand. Absolutely. If you have a home enema kit, that's chef's kiss. You really want to take care of that.
If that's how the chef is kissing.
Well, it's very polite. That is a guaranteed, it's really kind of be as clean as you can possibly get it. You can scrub the outside all day, but it's what's on the inside that counts.
So how soon do you think you should talk about this?
You can't. That's not something you can just.
I guess it depends on the person.
It depends on the two people involved. the roadmap that they've had thus far. I mean,
There's that keyword.
You can't just go, saying toss my salad to a stranger.
I mean, you could.
You could, yeah.
It might work out like 1% of the time.
Sure, yeah,
Those
that's
are
1%.
actually pretty good odds.
If I ask 100 people to eat my ass, one of them's going to say
I
yes.
feel like one person would out of 100.
Well, I'm going to go ask 200 people then.
That one guy that you met in the parking lot
I
with
think
Nutty Buddy, he was shooting his shot. Maybe he had the same idea where it's like 1 in 100.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he would. I think he would definitely eat my ass if I asked nicely.
I feel like
sure to Nutty Buddy. What else can you mean? The next logical step.
Maybe next time you bring him a ho-ho.
Maybe that's the
well,
ball's in my court
for
now.
the ding dong though.
Yeah. So technically, in a old '90s technicality, imagine McNamee, tossing salad is rimming that involves the use of either jelly or syrup, like as a topping, like as a flavor enhancer, to get your mind off the fact that you're licking butthole.
Thank you.
By a technicality, but that's 30 years ago.
We've evolved past that.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't want anything sticky.
Ew.
But yeah, because
That's worse for all parties involved.
I don't know. Like, I think it might be a little bit beneficial for the person who's eating the ass, but it's like unless they are thorough, the person whose ass that now is just has like stuck together butt cheeks, So, but yeah, like that. It's unfortunately it's an unanswerable question because you can't rush that, and you also, I mean, you don't want to sit forever on your laurels and never ask the question. You got to shoot your shot.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like it's never too soon to talk about. Well, hold on. To talk about sex with a partner that you plan on having sex with. Like, I feel like if it's something that you're interested in, you should talk about it. You should have that conversation. And
so this is coming. I mean, like your vantage point is one of. How old are you?
28.
You're 28, and a
I had
lot
to
of
think about that.
Yeah, I get it.
After 25, it doesn't matter.
And I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of your dating started with like social media, like online, like Grindr, Tinder type things, right?
Yeah.
Which are really kind of sex forward. Like they're kind of like it's presumed that sex is first, not necessarily a relationship or a friendship.
Well,
so that's a bold it's a very particular point of view from somebody like to say like you should definitely talk about sex with someone you're planning on having sex with. Like,
I mean, like with your partner. Like, I think that if I want people to talk about it instead of just go for it, like.
Wait, that's okay. Back to our earlier podcast conversations of like, you had always set this roadmap, and I had always kind of gone with this air of mystery and discovery in the moment, and that's that dance that comes in first off just due to my age, but also like that's in those moments that's kind of how you find out what I'm going to ask about eating ass.
Yeah.
Like if we're fucking and I touch your butthole and it stops everything, I know I shouldn't talk about eating ass, at least for a little while. But if I touch your ass and you lean into it, and then I put my finger a little further up there and you don't stop me, then maybe ass play is on the table. Well, any conversation, this is a disclaimer for all people listening. This just because I'm saying this thing doesn't mean that this is my own personal history. All right, so don't go presuming anything about this person or their butthole.
I'm sure it's a very nice butthole.
It's worked for me so far.
Good job. So anywho.
I love that. My butthole's worked for me so far.
Hasn't let me down yet.
Well, when do you imagine Macnamee writes, but why not be like, hey, I'm interested in tossing your salad. Thoughts?
That's fine. Like,
if you want to eat somebody else's ass, absolutely. Oh no. If you want to do that, that's 100% fine.
Callie Wright writes in and says, sex honestly got way better for me when I stopped doing that dance.
100%. Yes, I concur. Since discovering the roadmap ideology, I buy in completely. But like it's you can't just go having that conversation with, let's go out on a date for coffee and talk about eating ass. Like, you got to lead up to that. Like, I feel like you want to at least.
Yeah, there's a lead up.
You want to at least have regular kind of vanilla-ish sex first, and then once the vanilla sex has happened, then we can talk about the.
See, I don't buy into that. I think if you're going to have sex with somebody, I think that, like, if it's already established that you're going to have sex with somebody, this is not first date. This is not, would you like to get a cup of coffee with me? Blah, blah, blah. It's established that you're going to have sex. I think once that's on the table, then any conversation pertaining to boundaries and interests should also be on the table. That's my, because I believe that if there's any ambiguity, like the whole doing the dance and trying to like read into, oh, they're leaning into it, so that means the ass play. I think that personally, that scares me a bit, because like I've been on the receiving end of somebody reading into things, like we're doing the dance, and they go further than I would like, and that I would have rather them been like once sex was on the table, I would have rather them been like, hey, I want to shove something up your ass, I want to eat your ass, I want to do these things.
None of that's vanilla. None of that's vanilla. Like, anytime butt play is involved, that's we're on a different flavor. I guess
I think that we can have any flavor ice cream that we want. Our first time eating ice cream, I think we should be allowed to have any flavor, as long as it's in the shop. As long as it's in the shop.
Like, so if I'm into fucking, if I'm into some fucked up shit, I don't want to do that to a new part. Like, I don't care how well we have this conversation and sign on the dotted line and discuss everything that's going to happen. I don't know how hard I'm able to get hit or be hit by you. I don't know if I call you horrible things and or be called horrible things, how each of us are going to take that, or how we're going to. You gotta start somewhere, so you have somewhere to go. Because if you're just like, here's the exact conversation, here's what I want to happen, here's a list, that's fine. But there's still shades of those things. There's still varying degrees. Like, it's like, I'm going to smack you in the face at like a 10 or like a 5. You got to gauge that shit. Like, how do you have that conversation on your first go?
I just do it. I just do it. That's it. Because I want it to be a pleasurable experience for all parties involved. If I want what I enjoyed to happen, then I have to have that conversation. And if I want to make sure that they're okay with those things, I have to have that conversation.
Okay.
And for me, so just to clarify, for me, oftentimes it's me initiating a conversation on boundaries of what I want not to happen, because I'm a little bit obscure, I guess, in the sense that I don't particularly enjoy penetrative sex, and that's most people's default, is penetrative sex. So oftentimes when I'm talking to a partner or a potential partner about interacting sexually, I have to start that conversation by saying, okay, what are you into? These are some things that I am not interested in doing, at least not our first time. And so then we have to have the conversation about alternatives. Well, yeah, because penetrative sex is something that I have to be romantically interested in somebody in order to allow them to do that. But
we're talking about the same thing then. Like I have to trust my partner before I can do the things that I want to do to them. And I have to know them. I have to know them that I'm not going to hurt them, because some people might agree to some shit, but not really be okay with it. Like, and I also need to know, like, they don't know what the fuck I'm necessarily talking about. Like, I can describe it all day, but until it fucking happens to a small degree,
they're going to show up with salad dressing, some croutons.
Right. When I get the fucking tongs out or a big ass paddle, like, you don't know. You don't know. So you don't just start fucking doing like the level 10. Like, I'm not going to stick my entire fucking elbow deep up your butthole because we said, okay, this is what I like and you agreed to it. I'm going to start with a finger.
That's the thing, though, is everyone's baseline is different.
Yeah.
Like I said, like most people's default is still penetrative sex.
But even
and that's not my baseline. So I have to set that expectation.
It's a marriage of the conversation and the dance. It's a marriage of both things, because you have to start somewhere. If someone says, I enjoy when you put your entire leg in my asshole, just like put the whole thing in there, you still have to start with the toe. Like, you have to start somewhere, and you have to then listen for that reaction. You dip your toes in the water.
Well, I think that's just the act of having respectful sex anyways.
Yes. Yes, I'm wearing Crocs.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they're house shoes, okay?
Immediate turn off.
Yeah.
Immediate turn off.
Yeah. Me too. Same.
I withdraw my consent.
You know what? Show's over, folks. Go home. We're done.
So I think we skipped over this comment. I wanted to hit this. Imagine McNamee said, yeah, but at this age, if both of the parties are not virgins and instead are experienced, then it should be a conversation before.
Yeah, I go ahead.
So for the first time, I think setting boundaries is a number one priority. This is what I don't want. This is what I don't like. And then build up from that, because I'm not going to trust somebody to do anything to me until I get to know them more. So, but they need to know day one, this is off the table. So,
in the age, like, I'm just like,
you're so upset.
No, it's fine. It's I just
passionate.
We're not fighting.
We're not. We're not. I don't think anybody's here is disagreeing. In the age of social media and dating, online dating, you can have these conversations and kind of be upfront about things. But like, to me, like, if I were to lay all my cards out on the table immediately and be like, I'm into these things, I feel like it's going to scare people away.
Well, so I think yes, maybe, but like, isn't that why we have this show, is to sort of remove that scariness and remove that shame from these things.
Yeah.
I think that the only reason why that would scare somebody away is if either they're not interested in those things, which in that case, good, you can now more efficiently move on to somebody who is interested in those things, or because there is that level of shame, or like that taboo nature of these kinds of conversations. But yeah, I feel like you bring up a good point where, yes, in the age of social media and online dating, and specifically Grindr, it is more immediately the conversation. Like, they literally have like tags for different fetishes that you can stick on there on your profile, and you can filter by those tags. It's amazing. These conversations in the real world outside of these apps, it's just doing that same exact thing It's giving a tag to that conversation and allowing people to more efficiently filter out or filter in the things that they're okay with, the things that they enjoy, the things that they consent to, the things that bring them pleasure. And ultimately, I want to live in a world in which, yeah, immediately you can have these conversations and it's okay, as long as you remain, respectful. And if somebody says, no, I'm not interested in that thing, okay, all right, move on. But I also acknowledge the fact that not everybody lives in that world. Not everybody lives in that headspace. So I understand, the idea of easing into it, the idea of not just bombarding somebody with, hey, I want to sit on your face while you gag me. Like, I understand that not being the immediate thing.
The logistics behind that particular thing, I'd have to, gag you up here while you're.
Well, they're like clawing.
Yeah.
So they're suffocating, and then the idea is for both people to be suffocating.
I mean it.
It's symbolic, really. I want that as a statue. I want that like a marble statue of just like someone reaching up, like just this large ass.
Yes,
that'd be beautiful.
Here for that. Please, someone 3D print me that.
But yeah, so I understand where you're coming from, and I do think that it's
so okay.
It takes the context of the situation.
I also never.
Ow! I can't feel my leg. I fucked up. I'm sorry. Hold on.
You're good.
Okay.
I never had a lot of one night stands or anything. Like, a lot of my relationships have been relationships. A lot of my sexual encounters have been via relationship. And if I were just to tell a lot of my previous relationships, hey, I'm really into, a lot of like BDSM violent shit. They've been like, no, but like, it's also it's part of a dance, because I can then say, well, I like you enough and I love you enough to not do this thing because I respect you, and that, like, just because I want to do that doesn't mean I have to do that. If you're not into it, I'm not into it. It's okay. But if you lead off with, I need to fucking choke you and eat your socks, and I need you to fucking call me a cum guzzler. Like, if it's like, oh, well, that's not my bread and butter, so I'm moving on. A great relationship could have been formed if you could look past it. Like, can you say, like, well, can we lose the cum guzzling and can we add spanking? Like,
negotiation.
Yeah, it's some sort of weird negotiation.
Well, yeah, that's the conversation, though. But the conversation is the back and forth. That's when I in.
But you're missing out on what could be a fantastic relationship that two people could grow old together, but it's immediately dismissed because negotiations fall apart. Whereas if you build the relationship first and then have the conversation actively while that's happening, like, if you have the conversation first and it's like, I'm definitely not into anybody who touches butts because they're going to want to touch my butt and I can't have my butt touched. Whereas if you say, oh my God, I love this person, could I give up butt touching? Maybe. Like,
I think it's a matter of your goal for a particular instance.
Right, for that particular thing. Like,
so, like, yeah, like with one night stands, I want to have the most intense orgasm I can within the course of the next 12 hours.
Have that conversation. I don't give a fuck about the person who's like the vehicle with which I'm riding, as long as you're safe. As long as everything's safe, go nuts. But for relationship purposes, I think the dance is important.
Yeah,
conversation, absolutely, but you gotta build up. You gotta have levels.
But I will say,
just go fucking like donkey punching every single person I sleep with, I'm not gonna have a lot of fucking partners.
I will say though, if this particular thing is of utmost importance to you, if it's like pretty high on your list of priorities, then I think that conversation should happen sooner rather than later. In the same sense that, like, sometimes when people are in a relationship, their goal is to, be parents. They want to have babies.
what's
I
important
think
to you
I think
now
that
changes based on
I
new
know
information. So if you live
that's
and die
true.
by the donkey punch, you will lose out on what could be something amazing because you're stuck on a like. I will
But
throw
it's
away
like
a donkey punch.
it's like the
I
conversation
have.
of having. I feel like it's like the conversation of having a child, for example. Like some people are like their relationships. There are certain things that that's very important to them, and for some people that can be like sexual chemistry or an exploration of certain pleasures and things like that. For some people, it's they want to build a family, and if somebody is completely opposed to that, and I understand people can change, whatever. This can be an ongoing conversation. I like I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but like I'm still in contact with almost everybody that I've slept with. And you're shaking your head, yes.
No, yeah. You are weird, but you should be in contact with those people. Like it's completely healthy.
Okay.
As long as they're not toxic people, there's no reason to like that. People who discard their relationships or their sexual encounters are just that's a shame thing. Like or a jealousy thing. Like it should be okay to talk to anybody you've done anything with. So
But
yeah,
like even like really shitty sexual encounters.
yeah,
Like I'm still in contact with these people because I have no idea what the future holds. I have no idea. Uh, like I mean,
real
but
quick.
also like
Yeah.
I think that relationships can ebb and flow. Like they don't always have to be sexual. They can kind of become sexual and then like fade out sexually and things like that. There's all that. So yeah, I think people can change and things like that. But I don't know. It, I think it's just a difference between you and I, where I will almost immediately tell somebody everything, like all of the things that I want done or all of the things that I'm very passionate about. I just lay it all out. And do I think that that has scared people away? Yes, both professionally and sexually. Uh, but um, I think that that's something that's so inherently me, I guess.
Just waiting for it.
So inherently sexual.
No, it's so inherently me that I feel like if I weren't to do that, it would be disingenuous.
Absolutely. No, I like it.
So
Because that again, that's your like your specific journey has brought you to this point. Do you and you say, I have to have this conversation. And since discovering the roadmap and being able to talk about these things, the more they're becoming more and more of a mainstream conversation piece, and that's wonderful. So you can talk about these things without the shame and the baggage and all the bullshit. So it's absolutely something I'm adopting, but I think I enjoy both. Now, real quick, I want to call out Callie Wright 513's comment. I think it also depends on where a certain thing fits in between, quote, I'm way into this, end quote, and, quote, I'm absolutely have to have this to enjoy the experience, end quote. Those matters too. Vanilla sex can be fun for me. So if I tell someone all the weird shit I'm into and they're not game, I can still have fun. And it doesn't have to be weird or awkward at all. Absolutely. Like, to me, sex is like pizza. Even if it's bad, it's still pretty good, and I'm going to eat it. Like, vanilla sex, just plain cheese pizza, still delicious.
yeah,
I prefer pineapple and bacon, but if I don't have that, I'm still going to eat my fucking pizza. Like, still gonna eat it. And you see that it's very much like pizza and toppings. Like everybody's in different shit. Everybody's got their favorite pizza toppings, but
You just happen to be in the wrong shit.
I just happen to be into the wrong. Thank you for sharing.
Pineapple does not belong on pizza.
Yeah, it absolutely does. But it's
you're
okay.
uninvited from all pizza parties.
Sweet and salty. What's this? Let's see here. Go ahead. I butchered the last one, so you get to read this one.
Imagine McNamee said, personally, I wish I would have been honest with my wants and desires with my partner years earlier than we did. Everything got great once we opened up to each other, and some stuff was there from the beginning. But people do change, and I think communicating your change in desire is important too. But I like dancing, so either way, let's just party.
Woo!
That was beautiful.
I mean, you definitely have to have somebody to drive the conversation. If you've got two introverts, it's gonna be an awkward time. And I don't know you, Imagine, but yeah, like I'm extroverted and I drive a conversation. Like if there's somewhere I want to go, I steer the conversation that way. But I'm also still enjoying the pizza. Like, we're still here, we're still having a great time. But hey, what do you think about bacon on your pizza? Oh yeah, that's good, huh? That's tasty. What would you think about butt sex on the pizza?
Oh my god. So are you equating pineapple to butt sex? Is that
No.
what you're saying?
No, I am not.
Comparing her sex life to pizza.
Well, it's delicious. It's anyway.
Do you eat pizza or do you eat ass? Which one? Yes.
Either end of the road.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Now I really want pizza.
Right? All the time.
That's true.
We need a podcast with pizza.
I'm in.
Let's go.
Let's do that.
Fuck boys, when are we doing that right now?
We order some goddamn pizzas. Really, the show would have no end. I mean, we just keep getting different pizzas from different places.
Yeah. It would just be an ongoing stream.
We could get frozen pizza, like Leonard in the Community, and just rate that.
Like and subscribe.
Mash that like and subscribe button. Anyway, I love you, Steven.
I love you too. I love all y'all.
Well, let's open it up to the audience. Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns?
I have some concerns.
Sure.
I have a few concerns.
Yeah.
Love you too.
Imagine. Ask me your water.
I suppose.
Thanks.
Gross.
Yeah.
You eat ass.
You can get some ass in your water.
It's gross.
So we got dead air for our podcast listeners. So I guess we can sign off here, and then we'll have maybe a second episode or behind the scenes, perhaps.
So did you want to go into a second episode?
I don't know. I mean, we're at the hour mark, so we're not getting too many questions from the audience here. So I think it's a good place to stop it. What do you say?
Yeah, I think we can do that. But did you want to do a second show, or did you want to do a post show?
It's up to you.
I'm fine for a second. As long as you both are.
Well, we have two good questions here, so let's go ahead and roll into a second episode. But for all of our audience members, please just stay on the line. Don't go away. We're going to do a little reboot so that we have two episodes for our audio listeners.
All right. And audio listeners, thank you so much for listening and supporting the show.
Mm-hmm.
If you do enjoy the show, please consider going to mtfproductions.com/donate, where you can donate to the show. That money goes towards supporting me, Chris, all of us, pizza. But more importantly, we are actually in the process of building a studio, and that money will go towards helping us get some fancy equipment for the studio, so our podcasts can sound and look better than ever.
You don't have to look at my messy office.
It's not a Look at the glorious swords back there.
Look at all these swords my friend made me.
Oh, wow.
Pretty fucking awesome swords. Two of them.
Okay. I like the swords.
Yeah.
I can hit people with one of them.
Oh, God.
Only one of them?
It's got metal steel rods in them.
Hard pass.
It's going to be great.
All right.
And for audio listeners who have no idea what the fuck we're talking about,
Your swords.
Two Shira swords.
There's video when we do the live show on twitch.tv/morethanfriends. You can tune in live and join the audience where you can participate like many of our guests have today. But yeah, all right, I'm going to go ahead and transition into the second episode.
Wonderful.
All right. See y'all later. Love, love, love.
Bye.